This creative project is on Eunice Foote, an underrepresented scientist in the 1800s. Eunice was born on July 17th, 1819 in Goshen, Connecticut, which is pictured in the bottom left. From ages 17 to 19, she was a student at Troy Female Seminary, now called Emma Willard School, which happens to be the first school for higher education for women in the United States, and that's pictured in the bottom middle. At this institution, she was able to partake in science courses, which is what she did. Sometime in August of 1841, she married a man named Elisha Foote, who was a judge, mathematician, and a man of scientific curiosity. A few years later, she and her husband moved to Seneca Falls, which is pictured in the bottom left. They were both women's rights advocates and attended the Seneca Falls Convention, and both of them signed a Declaration of Sentiments, and that's pictured in the bottom right. Around this time, Eunice started to perform science experiments at home, being influenced by a family friend named John Henry. Sometime in 1856, Eunice performed an experiment heating various gases and recorded her observations. Her experimental setup consisted of two bulbs within which contained mercurial thermometers, allowing her to record the temperature inside the bulbs. Then gas was pumped into the bulbs and their temperature was measured over time intervals. From her recorded data, she observed that carbon dioxide, which at the time was known as carbonic acid gas, absorbed heat much more efficiently and held onto it for much longer than hydrogen, oxygen, and air. In her article on this experiment, titled On the Heat in the Sun's Rays, she says an atmosphere of that gas would give to our Earth a high temperature, which of course is what it's doing today. On August 23rd, 1856, Eunice had the opportunity to present her research at the AAAS, short for the American Association for the Advancement in Science. However, she wouldn't be the one presenting her research, and it would be her family friend John Henry, as she was still considered an amateur scientist and wouldn't be taken seriously. But the AAAS didn't know what to make of Eunice's findings, and the research was left collecting dust until 2011, when it was rediscovered. The rediscovery of Eunice's work sparked questions about John Tyndall, who was regarded as the father of climate science. He performed experiments in 1859 that showed some gases, would absorb heat better than others and hold on to it for longer. And he concluded that carbon dioxide would do this. He was glorified for discovery. However, there's speculation as to whether he achieved these results independently or robbed Eunice's work, as he was an editor of a science magazine that republished Eunice's research paper. It may also be important to note that he considered women less intellectually capable than men. Conclusion. It can't be proven that Tyndall stole her work. So Eunice is a great example of discrimination against women in the sciences, as her work wasn't taken seriously. She was a brilliant woman who dedicated her life to the sciences, and her research on carbon dioxide should be considered the kickstarter for everything that we know about global warming today. Some fun facts about Eunice Foote. She was a distant relative of Isaac Newton, and she was the first woman to publish an article in the field of physics. Reflection. It was difficult to find information about Eunice's early life. There was not much documented about it. Most of the stuff you'll find about her is centered around her research paper and that one experiment, nothing else. Though it is notable that women were discriminated to such a degree in sciences. And this is my works cited list.